Okay, picture this for a second. It is dark. Your phone is sitting at 4%. And your whole campsite is lit by one sad little headlamp pointed at the dirt. Now, imagine one small gadget that lights up your entire site and charges the dying phone at the same time. That, right there, is the whole idea behind the best new camping gear of 2026. It is not about more stuff. It is about smarter stuff. One tool, doing the job of three. So stick with me, because some of these are clever in ways you will not see coming, and number 1 might just replace half your kit. Number 7. Ojiri solar string lights. Atmosphere and a power bank in one. Let us kick this off with the gadget that nails the exact problem from the hook. So, on the surface, the Ojiri solar string lights look like simple fairy lights. You get 49 feet of warm and cool white LEDs that you drape around your campsite for that cozy glow. And honestly, they do that part beautifully. But here is the genius bit. Tucked inside is a 5,400 mAh battery, and that battery doubles as a USB power bank. So the very same gadget lighting up your whole site? It is also quietly topping up your phone. You charge it by solar during the day, or fully by USB-C in about 5 hours, and it runs for up to 20 hours on one charge. And then, there is the little detail that I think is the real stroke of brilliance. A hand crank. You just wind the entire string back into its own case in about 30 seconds. Now, if you have ever spent 10 minutes untangling string lights in the dark, hands freezing, headlamp dying, you already know exactly why that one feature matters more than the brightness ever could. There are 11 lighting modes too, so you can run a soft warm glow over dinner, and a brighter work light when you are packing up. So, the honest verdict? At well under $50, this is not premium gear, and it is splash resistant, not stormproof, so a real downpour means tucking it inside the tent. But as your first genius buy, it is genuinely hard to beat. One gadget. For jobs. Under $50. Number 6. Alight Art Pro Ultra. For lights in one pocket. Next up, the gadget that quietly makes 3 other things in your bag completely pointless. The Alight Art Pro Ultra, and that is spelled O-Light, is a flat flashlight. Roughly the size of your phone, and it weighs just over 4 ounces. But Alight calls it a 4-in-1, and there is a good reason. Inside one little housing you get a 1700 lumen floodlight that washes a whole campsite in soft light, an 800 lumen spotlight that throws a beam over 600 feet down the trail, a UV light, and a green laser pointer. Mix and match them, and you get 7 different lighting setups. And here is the clever part reviewers keep raving about. Instead of clicking through some confusing sequence of modes in the dark, it uses a physical rotary dial. You just pick your light before you even turn it on. So why is this genius for camping? Because it replaces your lantern, your trail flashlight, and your headlamp's long throw beam with one pocket tool. It is rated IPX7 waterproof, charges by a magnetic cable, and on its lowest setting. It runs for 2 weeks straight. The UV mode even spots scorpions on a desert night before you reach for your boots. So, the honest verdict. At around $130, it is an investment. And that turbo brightness only lasts a few minutes before it steps down to protect itself, which is totally normal for any light this powerful. But for someone who hates carrying clutter? This is the smart splurge. And it is built from an aluminum tougher than the standard stuff, so it shrugs off the drops that kill cheap plastic lights. Number 5. Ojiri Z10 Telescopic Light. Stadium lighting you can pack away. Right, here is a problem every single camper knows. You need overhead light. To cook, to sort your gear, to play cards after dark. But every lantern you own just sits flat on the table, throwing weird shadows straight up your nose. The Ojiri Z10 fixes that with one genius move. It is a camping light on a telescopic pole. And that pole extends from 29 inches all the way up to 6.5 feet. So suddenly, you have got proper overhead lighting. Your own little campsite street lamp, casting light down across the whole table instead of into one corner. And it keeps that now familiar trick up its sleeve. A 10,000 mAh battery that runs for up to 22 hours, and yes, it doubles as a phone charger. There is even a remote, so you can kill the light from inside your sleeping bag without crawling back out into the cold. And what really sells it is how different the campsite feels. Light coming from above, the way a real room is lit, makes cooking and card games and finding that thing you dropped just easy. Instead of everyone hunching around one orange glow. Then you collapse the pole, and it shrinks right back down to a normal light for the drive home. The honest verdict. It is bulkier than a simple lantern, and the tripod base does need a reasonably flat spot. But for car campers who cook after sunset? Height is the feature nobody knew they needed until they have it. Number 4. Anker Solix C1000 Gen 2. The gadget that powers everything else. Okay. Every gadget so far has had a battery. This is the gadget that refills all of them. And runs the things they simply cannot. The Anker Solix C1000 Gen 2, and Anker is spelled ANKER, is a portable power station that testers at lab after lab keep naming the smartest all-round pick. And the reason is balance. At around 28 pounds, one person can carry it. Yet it pumps out 2000 watts across 10 ports, enough to run a portable fridge, a CPAP machine all night, your lights, laptops, and cameras, all at once. But here is what makes it genius rather than just big. The recharging. It goes from empty to full in about 49 minutes from a wall outlet. 49 minutes. That actually holds a Guinness World Record. And you can top it up with solar panels right there at camp, which means on a sunny trip you have basically got unlimited power, completely off the grid. This is the box that makes a longer trip even possible. The fridge keeping 3 days of food cold. The CPAP machine someone in the tent genuinely needs to sleep. The camera batteries, the drone, the string lights when their own battery taps out. All of it runs off this one quiet box. No fumes. No noise. No gasoline. The honest verdict. This is the priciest pick here. It lists around $799, though it is very often on sale closer to $449. And yeah, it is overkill for a single overnight. But for car campers, van lifers, or anyone who also wants home backup when the grid goes down, that cost quietly turns into cost per use. It is really two products in one. Number 3. Sawyer Squeeze. A lifetime of clean water for $40. Now, a gadget that proves genius does not have to mean high-tech at all. The Sawyer Squeeze, and that is spelled SAWYER, is a tiny water filter. It weighs almost nothing, and it threads straight onto a pouch, a bottle, or a gravity bag. You scoop up water from a stream, squeeze it through, and you are drinking clean water seconds later. We are talking a 0.1 micron filter that pulls out 99.999% of bacteria, the protozoa like Giardia, and 100% of microplastics. And here is the part that makes it genuinely brilliant. It is rated for up to 100,000 gallons. So for most campers, this is effectively a lifetime filter. You buy it once, and it just quietly does its job for years. And the real genius is what it lets you leave behind. No more hauling a whole trip's worth of heavy water bottles from the car. No more rationing your sips. No more squinting at a clear mountain stream wondering if it is actually safe. You carry one tiny filter, and suddenly every creek and lake is your water supply. For backpackers counting every single ounce? That is a small revolution. The honest verdict. The little squeeze pouches it ships with can wear out, that is the one common gripe. But since the filter screws onto almost any bottle, it barely matters. At around $35 to $40, this might just be the highest value gadget in the whole video. Number 2. Garmin InReach Mini 2. The gadget you hope you never use. This one earns its spot on a single, very serious idea. Out in the backcountry, cell service just disappears. And a satellite communicator? That is how you call for help when it does. The Garmin InReach Mini 2, and Garmin is spelled GARMIN, connects straight to satellites. Not cell towers. Satellites. So it lets you send a text, share your location, or trigger an SOS from places where your phone is just a useless brick. It runs on the Iridium network for genuine global coverage, it weighs only 3.5 ounces, and it is built tough and water-resistant. In an emergency, that SOS goes to a rescue coordination center staffed 24/7. And it does so much more than emergencies. You can drop a pin so family back home can follow your route. Send a quick "I am okay" when you reach camp. Even pull a weather forecast from a valley with zero signal. It takes the scariest part of going truly remote, being completely cut off, and hands the control back to you. The honest verdict: the device runs around $300 to $400, and yes, it needs a satellite subscription on top, with flexible monthly or annual plans. For a quiet weekend at a busy campground? It is more than you need. But for solo hikers, remote trips, or anyone heading genuinely off-grid, this is not a luxury. It is the cheapest insurance you will ever carry. Number 1. Solar shower. The genius gadget hiding in plain sight. And the top spot goes to the gadget that solves the one need everybody ignores. Right up until day 3 with no bathroom. A modern solar shower is almost laughably simple. It is a dark bladder. You fill it with water and you leave it in the sun. The material soaks up heat all day long, and by the time you are back from your hike, you have got a steady stream of genuinely warm water for a real shower, right there at camp. So why is something this basic my number 1? Because genius is not always about lumens and lithium. Sometimes it is just a clever solution to a real, human problem. And nothing transforms a multi-day trip quite like being clean. It is light, it packs totally flat, it needs zero charging, and it costs next to nothing. Just think about the trade. A few dollars and a bit of sunshine against the grim reality of day 3, or for feeling sticky, sunburnt, and miserable in your own skin. Most of these get hot enough for a proper warm rinse, and some even include a little nozzle, so it actually feels like a shower instead of a bucket tipped over your head. It is the one piece of gear that makes people want to stay out an extra night, instead of cutting the trip short. The honest verdict: it does depend on a sunny day, so a cold, cloudy trip leaves you with cool water. But for the price? Nothing else here lifts the mood on a long trip quite like it. Because the smartest gear is not the most complicated. It is the gear that fixes the problem you forgot to plan for. So, let us bring it home. Notice the thread running through all 7 of these. The Ojiri string lights and the Z10 both light up your camp and charge your phone. The Elite folds for tools into one pocket. The Anker Solix powers the entire campsite. The Sawyer filter turns a stream into a lifetime of drinking water. The Garmin calls for help where phones go dark. And the solar shower? It fixes the comfort problem everyone forgets about. Not one of them is just one thing. And that, right there, is what genius camping gear looks like in 2026. Fewer gadgets, each one doing more. Buy that way, and your pack gets lighter while your campsite gets better. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these would you throw in your pack first? Drop it down in the comments, and I will see you at the next one.